Hello, friends, and welcome to our episode for understanding the stock market. And for this episode today, what we are going to talk about is the fundamentals of investing. And for this, we will speak to Professor Puratan Bharti. But before we do anything else, let me introduce Professor Puratan Bharti to you. Professor Puratan Bharti is a mentor, ATL at the Niti Aayog, and business mentor for IIT Bombay. He has over 15 years of experience in consulting, company mergers and acquisitions, and has advised many large corporations in India and the entry strategy into India. He presently runs his own stock analysis and investment program, which is structured around practical learning of CFA and accounting curriculum. Such a program is unique in its concept and application, and probably the first such program. The program draws its concepts of fundamental analysis from textbooks, mixes this with market research analysis, and then tests and implements the concept on stock prices. Professor Bharti, welcome to this show on fundamentals of investing in the stock exchange. Now, over to you. One of the biggest questions which comes in every person who's trying to invest in the stock market is, what should I look at? What are the fundamentals that I should look at when I invest in the stock market? Can you please explain this to us?
Right, sir. So one of the basic fundamentals, that we forget is why we are investing in the company. When you're buying one stock, whether you're buying 100 stocks or 10 stocks, we just forget what is the intent of investing in the company, which is a calculated risk, or rather a calculated greed. We always fall for traps wherein we want to make 1,000% in a month or in a year, or so on and so forth. So the reason we invest in this company, because you want to be part of their growth story. So a company which is growing, which is financially sound. Unfortunately, most of the investors, even during intraday trading, I suggest, whether you are investing in just for the day or whether you are investing for a week or so, you have to look at a company which is profit making. This is a very important principle, because if the management of the company, the owners and the promoters of the company are not able to generate money for themselves, how will they generate money for you? So we try to just rely on volatility of the stock, which is the price movement, whereas it does not work like that. In the medium to long run, you have to look at companies which have growth perspective. So companies which are growing, which have grown in the past, which have remained stable in terms of the growth. The growth is not very volatile. So one year it grows for say about 10%, the next year it degrows by about 10%. So that's not a company you are looking at. Number one. Second is, you are looking for a company which is profit making. You don't want to put your bets or risk on a company which is not making profits. Third is, you have to look for a company which is a respectable company. Now, what do I mean by a respectable company in the financial world? So it has to be the, say, top 100, top 50, top 500 companies of India. That is where you want to start the journey from. Because of the idea of making huge returns, we tend to pick up penny stocks, as we call it. Companies which are low valued, but would also, the value, the very reason why the value is low, because it could also possibly because there are no growth prospects. A good company, good asset, any asset class, whether it is real estate, stock, product, will always be valued good. And then you have to look at some of the key ratios, in terms of when you picked up a nice company, then you really want to figure out at what point you can enter. So then, that is what we basically teach in our program. The concepts of value investing with technical analysis. So you need to know whether this is the right point of entry. Now, you can look at price to earnings ratio, or you can look at some of those technical charts like MACD or RSI. But the fundamental is this the stock that I want to enter it? If the stock has already run up for, say, about 5%, 10%, that is not something that you would want to do. And the last point is, these are all ring fencing. So you choose a nice company, a company which is growing, a company which is making profits. And then the last thing is, using stop losses in the market. So these are ring fences. Unfortunately, most of us only know about a concept called stop losses, just preventing the losses, cutting when it's making a loss, getting out of that position. But that is something, this is post the execution of the trade. But before that, you have to spend at least 30 minutes to 1 day to a week studying the company as to the growth prospects. So I think these are the basic fundamentals that you would want to look at before you pick up any company. And you have to understand the segment which you are investing, whether the segment is growing or not. So it's just not the company, but also the segment. So if IT segment is doing good, I can pick up a nice company from there. That is the crux of it. All investors, be it Warren Buffett or be it any top investor, talk to them, all of them would talk about these fundamentals. But unfortunately, these just remain to our textbooks. And while picking up stocks, when we see the stock running, our heart starts pumping. We think we'll make a lot of money, but we forget. And a loss company making will always give you losses in your returns. You never know when you might get a trap. So you have to stay away from that trap, and you have to build a ring fence, like you pick up, good friends, good people, good society around you. So you have, why can't you pick up and why can't we pick up good stocks, good segments, sectors that are performing around us. So this is, I think, a basic fundamental that we really ignore, sir.
Thank you very much. This is really, I understand what you're saying about picking good companies, creating the ring fence, working with stop losses and all. But let us say I have studied the company. I really don't know what is going on inside the company. I only go by what the financials are indicated to me. Can you also tell me what could be the other risks which are involved when I am selecting? What are the pitfalls that I should avoid? One of the things you said, if the companies run up 10 to 15%, don't invest in that. Something like that. What could be the other risks that are involved when I invest in a company?
Yes, so the risks are very simple, defined very simply. The implications of it could be complicated, obviously. Building on to what you just said, sir, and I think, and also related to the first question that we just spoke about, is the fundamental risk of the company. So if the business, all of a sudden you realize that business is not doing good, or there is some regulator intervention into it. So some regulator says that there is a tax fraud, or there's a fraud in this company, or there's siphoning of funds from the company, or the business itself, the scenario has changed so much that the business is not doing good. So this is fundamental things are changing within the company, which is not possible to know as an outsider. So you can rely to financial statements, but they are dated. They are dated as of 31st March, as of last quarter. Every quarter, a listed company on the main board has to publish their quarterly unaudited results. Every quarter they have to publish. That can be prevented by using a stop loss. So, for example, if I'm invested in a company and all of a sudden there is some tax raid that happens. Now that is not control. I was not aware of it. Probably the management was aware of it, or they were not even also aware of it. Someone was doing a tax evasion in the company. You would see the immediate impact of that on the stock prices. You'll see that the stock prices have tanked by 2%, 5%, 10%, or whatever amount. In that case, this is post-execution strategy once you have bought the shares. So you can put a term which is called as stop loss, which will prevent. So if your stock falls by 2%, 5%, 10%, you can decide the limit. And this limit can be valid for an entire year. So this, a threshold you can set for an entire year, which is called GTT, or good till traded, which will prevent you from losses. The other, the biggest risk which every investor or which every entrant, anyone who's entering the market, especially the newcomers in the market, faces the volatility in the stock price. However, we fail to understand that it is this same volatility which gives us the returns. If the stock prices were, sort of constant, if you buy at 100 rupees and even after 1 year, it was same at 100 rupees, you would not make money in it. But if the stock prices from 100 rupees, it goes to 10 rupees, you make about 10% returns. But the downside, if it comes to 10%, if it comes to 90 and it comes corrects by 10%, that is the biggest risk that every investor faces. Now, how do you counter that? That is where and what you just picked up from the previous conversation, sir, that if a stock has run up by say 5% or 10%, you would not invest in a company, because A 5% in a day or a two or in a week or even in a month is a phenomenal return for any company to give, because the company itself is not growing by 5 or 10% in a month. So if the fundamentals like the sales, like the cash flow, like the profit, if it is not growing by 10% in a month, how can you simply expect to make 5 or 10% in a month? So either you hold on for the stock prices to correct, and that is where all investors talk about the patience, because if a stock has run up, it may take years, 6 months, 2 years for it to come to a level where you can invest. So value investing, we have to realize technical charts, any analysis of the charts will only tell you whether it will go up or go down. So as we know, the analogy that we use is that it is like a Google map. But if the fundamentals are not there in the company, if the stock has already run up, the fuel is exhausting in the vehicle. You are running out of fuel. So you would not want to enter the journey at the at the last leg of it. So that you always have to keep in mind, sir.
Right. So we can avoid risks in this manner, especially with the stop loss thing that you said. We can put a stop loss depending on our own risk profile as to where we want to put. Again, a very basic question, so that all the listeners who are listening to this video can understand. Can anybody invest in the stock market, or does it require a special quality for a person to invest in the stock market?
See, I will answer your question in two parts. So first is, can anyone invest? So answer is yes, absolutely yes. Anyone who's, in my view, anyone who's has attained majority, so you can sign legal documents, can open a demat account and open it. As far as understanding of the things around is concerned, anyone who's say part of who's done his matriculation, who's in studying in 12th, that is the time when you start specializing, should start looking at stock markets. That is one perspective that we are missing. And if you would realize, if you have read the biographies and autobiographies of all these big investors, they started early. They started, someone, for example, Warren Buffett started when he was just 12, 13 years working in a garage, studying finance books. So why this is important? There are two aspects to it. The one reason is that you want to spend, a lot of time studying the charts, the price movement, the historical movements, because stock markets has a memory. So you want to spend a lot of time. So you can go back, 8 years, 10 years in history and study how the chart has performed. But it is also your time in the market. So you should have seen a couple of business cycles, one depression, one up phase of absolute growth. If you have seen these cycles, that is only possible if you start early. So I think if you have done your 12th standard, or if you are studying in 12th standard, you should first start with paper trading, which is virtual money, which you can do. Then you should start buying one stock. If you are successful in buying one stock, you can multiply the idea. So from 1x, you can go to 10x and 100x. So the idea is anyone can invest in the stock markets. And then you have to pick up some of the fundamental concepts as to how you can say no to an idea. I don't want to invest in this company. I don't want to invest in that company. That will require about 3 to 6 months of training. Those trainings are conducted at our end, and we do every evening, we do practical sessions. And I'm sure you have seen that people have benefited out of it, because it is a structured discussion that we do. And there are people from various segments. So, sir, just to sum it up, anyone can invest. It needs a little bit of training. Without training, you are sure to fail if you not receive training. So I would say that, just do paper trading, virtual money you should play around. But starting early would help in wealth creation.
Thank you. I understand when you said anybody could invest, and you have covered the risk and what are the fundamental things that we should look for when we are investing. But there is also been many cases where people have got into the stock market, and then because of various things they have burnt their fingers. So from your side, with your experience, what is the one word of caution that you would like to give to all the investors, especially those entering the field, the new ones who are entering the field?
One word of caution is just you have to choose the best company around. Whether it gives you money or not right now, in the longer run, it will give you the money, so your money will never be lost. So, some of the tech measures that are there, they have been in the business since 1990s. They have seen many business cycles, many presidential changes, many electoral changes here in India. So invest in a good company. If you are not investing in a good company, say in top IT companies or top 50 companies of India or top 100 companies, you are exposing yourself to the biggest risk, which is the fundamental risk, which is the biggest business risk, which is beyond your control or any retail investor's control, because we don't sit on the board of the company. We don't direct the managements. We don't ask questions to the management directly. We do not have any interference. We are just retail investors. So good company and a profit-making company. So good company and a profit-making company will save you from bad experiences. That is the first learning point which we tend to forget and burn our hands, sir.
Thank you very much, Professor Bharti. It's been wonderful having this conversation with you. I am sure people who are watching this video will understand what are the fundamentals of investing, what are the risks that may be there, and how to select and the stock in which they should invest. Thank you very much for your time, and we will finish this episode here for today. We will be coming back to you with more and more episodes on investing and understanding the stock market. For today, thank you very much and bye-bye.
Thank you, Ashwini sir. Thanks for your time.